So if anyone's on standby to get on the Facebook link, we're going to start streaming just in literally about 30 seconds. Okay, fantastic, guys. So welcome and good evening. Good evening and welcome on this call. Great to see every single person on this call. We have a really, really exciting night. We're going to be talking about cryptocurrency. We're going to be talking about the blockchain. So what do we stand for? Crypto Live tonight. And what we're going to be speaking about is being able to educate you a little bit about the blockchain and about cryptocurrency and how you can benefit from that. So how to profit from the future of payments. But what do we stand for? So at Crypto Live, we inspire, we motivate, and most importantly, we educate. And that's really what we're all about. It's about providing education so that you can make an informed decision if this particular opportunity or any other opportunity is actually for you. And that comes through learning. So let me just share my screen. Okay, fantastic. So you should see on my screen, Nelson Mandela says that education is the most powerful weapon which we can use to change the world. And I want you to think about that as we go through this, this show. And the reason being that if we educate ourselves, then we can make an informed decision. So a lot of the time people talk about cryptocurrency, they talk about the blockchain, they talk about mining coins. There's so much information, there's so much new information that people are exposed to, but really how much of an understanding do you have of it? You see, right now, let me tell you what's happening in the world. In the world right now, all currencies are completely in decline. So going back, way back from the year 2000, currencies have gradually declined, and it mostly comes from the US dollar. So guys, if you're on this live right now, you can share it on Facebook, lots of comments, lots of likes, and expose this information to everybody that could benefit. So let's look at the US dollar. The US dollar is in decline. As soon as the US dollar starts to decline, what happens to all the other currencies? They start to decline as well. And that's happened ever since we've had fiat currency. So you have the banks who print more money. You have the governments who expose themselves to various different loans and lending. And look what happened to Greece recently. So if currency is in decline, the question is what's going to happen next? That's why we need to pay attention to blockchain technology. And that's why we really need to pay attention to cryptocurrency. So how did it all start? Well, it all started with the history of money. The history of money, we started with the barter system. From the barter system, gold was discovered. Gold became valuable. And there was some stuff in between as well. But gold became valuable only because of the demand for gold. There's a limited supply of gold, and there was demand for gold. That's why it was valuable. Of course, it wasn't really convenient to carry gold about, so you got the middlemen coming in saying, you know, give us your gold, we'll give you some money that you can use, some paper tokens. When you've finished, we'll do the exchange back. That system worked pretty well. Money, when it was backed by gold, was fine because we had a tangible asset that was backing money, and that was okay. Of course, ever since fiat currency, that's declined. We then moved on to credit cards. We then moved on to digital systems such as PayPal, Apple Pay, contactless. And the next phase, the next evolution of money is actually cryptocurrency. That's the next evolution that's happening just now. And I want you to think about this for a moment, just one moment. When was the last time that you used your personal checkbook? Or do personal checkbooks even still exist today? Because most of the time, even business checkbooks are being phased out. See, we're all transferring money digitally right now. So what is cryptocurrency? That's the big question. And if you imagine, in terms of payments, cryptocurrency is really simple. The simple way I like to explain it, you take any note and you take the serial number, you recode it as a long number with hashtags, you store that number in your phone, in your iPad, your computer, and that becomes the currency. That becomes the mode of exchange. That's what you use. You don't need a bank anymore. That's what we're moving towards. And many people can't understand that concept. So how does a blockchain work? It's really critical that we understand how a blockchain works, because that can really make a difference.
Blockchain is peer-to-peer software technology that protects the integrity of a digital piece of information. It was invented to create the alternative currency Bitcoin, but may be used for other cryptocurrencies, online signature services, voting systems, and many other applications. In this video, we explain how it works and what makes it special. Everyone uses paper money. When you get a $10 bill, you trust that it's not fake. If instead someone sent you an email saying, "Here's $10, you probably wouldn't trust it. But when we transfer money, use an ATM, or pay with a deposit card, that's pretty much exactly what we do. We're sending money and a digital message. To make sure no one's cheating or sending money they don't have, these messages go through a few trusted banks that keep a record of everything. They know how much money everyone has and deduct it properly for every transaction. But this becomes expensive when there's a million transactions around the world every minute. The Economist estimates that banks charged us more than $1.7 trillion to process these payments in 2014. That's about 2% of the entire world economy. With blockchain, we can save a lot of this cost because it lets us send money just like sending an email. Instead of sending a lot of payment information through a few servers, blockchain uses thousands of personal computers on the internet. All transactions are copied and cross-checked between every computer in a system-wide accounting book called the ledger, which becomes very safe at scale. Blockchain doesn't just allow us to create safe money online, it lets us protect any piece of digital information. This could be online identity cards, voter ballots, contracts, and many other legal instruments, bringing bureaucracy into the 21st century.
Great, fantastic. So it's important to understand all about blockchain and to understand that when we talk about the blockchain, we're not just talking about the future of payments. We're really talking about something that they potentially say is going to be bigger than the internet. So we're really talking about a technology that's going to be used for your identification, a technology that's going to be used for your medical records, a technology that's going to be used for recruitment, a technology that's going to be used for the music industry, the movie industry. Every single, anything that's got a database is going to end up on the blockchain. Why? Because it's much quicker, it's much quicker, it's much cheaper, and it's much more secure. And the example here that I've got of a blockchain, when a new transaction comes into the equation, what happens is there's a transaction gate, because everybody's connected on the system, and the actual transaction itself will only move onto the block once it's been approved and once it's been verified. Once it's been approved and verified, that creates a block. It then goes onto the chain, and then it moves across. And many people on the system can approve that transaction, but if the transaction isn't legitimate, then it will be rejected by somebody else. So you have a system now that everybody's connected, and it creates a protocol whereby once the transactions are approved and it's legitimate and moves straight across, it's much quicker, it's much cheaper, and it's much more secure. And that's why we're moving on to this technology. It's like going back to the beginning of the internet, really, or the beginning of the mobile phone industry. Many banks around the world right now are all working on their blockchain, and it's estimated that banks last year spent 75 million developing their blockchain right now. So you have banks like Barclays Bank, you have banks like the Royal Bank of Scotland, you've got a consortium of banks right now that have created, there's a group of them, and they're all working on blockchain technology. So we know it's the future. So if we know right now that blockchain technology is the future, then do you think it's time that we really pay attention to it and we educate ourselves about the blockchain and about cryptocurrency? So we know that a cashless society has already started. Countries like Dubai have declared cashless as of 2020. Parts of India have got rid of most of their larger notes. We've also got other countries that are way advanced in terms of the cashless society, Singapore, the Netherlands, even the UK. And this source comes from MasterCard advisors at McKinsey & Company. McKinsey's one of the foremost management consultancy companies in the world. They're a huge company. They represent a lot of banks, a lot of big investment houses. So they're a very credible source. So let's look at how it all started. It all started with Bitcoin. Bitcoin were the first pioneers to bring out a cryptocurrency, to use cryptocurrency. And it started as a result of the recession. And all of a sudden, this thing called Bitcoin appeared. Said it was invented by a Japanese individual called Satoshi. And even today, people do not know who's actually behind Bitcoin. There's no proof to who's behind Bitcoin. And yet many people, if you go on Google right now and you put Bitcoin, is Bitcoin a scam, for example, it will come up and tell you that Bitcoin is a scam. There's many articles online. Yet when it started, many people didn't believe it was going to go anywhere. They thought this is some sort of pyramid scheme, Ponzi scheme. The articles are still on Google right now. They mined their first coin. And of course, the first coin was mined roughly around about 10 cents. And many people got involved at that time, and many people missed out. In 2013, Bitcoin peaked to $1,200 for each coin. It's around about $1,200 today. And it's had its ups and downs. If you look at the history of Bitcoin, there's many people. The FBI shut down part of the Silk Road, which was where you could spend Bitcoin. That was shut down. But today, there's many locations around the world that accept Bitcoin. Bitcoin is an acceptable currency. There was a guy that spent initially, when he first started, 10,000 Bitcoin on a pizza. That was one of the very first places to accept cryptocurrency. Today, if he had 10,000 Bitcoin, they say with when he bought it then at around about 10 cents or whatever it would be worth about 7 million. And that's fantastic. But, we don't know. Just like we don't know right now. We don't know what's going to happen in the future. If we knew what was going to happen in the future, then surely everybody would be on board with a blockchain right now and cryptocurrency. So if I asked everybody on this call right now, how many of us actually have any cryptocurrency right now? For the guests that are on, how many of us are looking at cryptocurrency? Because it's certainly something that you want to pay attention to. Now, here's a young guy, a student. Back then, he bought $27 of Bitcoin and he forgot all about it. And in 2013, he cashed out for $886,000. That's a phenomenal amount. And that's not something, I'm sure he wasn't that educated about Bitcoin. I'm sure anybody would spend $27, if they thought they could make that kind of return. But the question is, did he know that he would make that kind of return? Of course he didn't, because we can't predict the future. So we really got to look at an industry and say, where is this industry going? Is this something I want to pay attention to? Do I want to be a pioneer, or do I just want to become a user? As a result of that, now there's over 700 cryptocurrencies that followed after Bitcoin. Many of these you won't even have heard of. Because why? Because all people do is they speculate on it. They buy low, they sell high. You can buy 100 pounds sterling of something like Ripple coin. You get quite a lot of coins, and you could just keep them and sell them. But what you need to educate yourself on which ones to choose. That's the main thing. Without education, then what you're doing, you're increasing your risk. So it's just like anything else. Now, to let you know, when I talk about speculation and I talk about currencies, it's really important to understand that I'm really using a lot of information that's there that's factual. It's factual information, the fact that people are speculating on the coins. And in terms of my background, I've been involved in investments. I've been involved in Forex trading. I was in the financial industry for over 18 years. So I've got knowledge of coins, I've got knowledge of cryptocurrency, I've got some knowledge of Forex, but none of that really matters when we talk about this industry and this opportunity right now. So as I say, many people are buying the coin low and simply selling high. So people ask me today, can I make money with cryptocurrency? And here's an example here. This is literally right up to date as of today. If you go on to a source called coinmarketcap.com and you type in biggest gainers, and it'll give you the top 10 biggest gainers. And there's number one there, Tricky Coin. These coins have some weird names. Tricky Coin, but it's a coin, it's on the public exchange. And that coin over the last 7 days went up by over 323%. So it's there to see. Sometimes when I show this chart, it shows over 1,000% in 7 days. So of course you can make money. You can make a lot of money with cryptocurrency. The question is, how do you know which coin to choose? How do you know? Unless you educate yourself. We have Mega Coin, we have Dubai Coin up 125%. So the question really to ask yourself right now is, how many people, if they thought they could get 100% return on whatever they put in terms of looking at cryptocurrency, if they thought they could get 100% return in 7 days, how many of you would put money in? Most of us would. but it's not guaranteed, you see. You see, cryptocurrency, in essence, is pretty risky. And that's why people can make substantial returns when they're trading on the open market. So as a result of that, the company that I want to discuss today is a company called Onelife. And I'm an independent marketing associate for this company. I joined the company back in April 2016 and started looking into it seriously and started introducing some people into the organization. And there's many reasons why I made that decision. First of all, Onelife is the first financial education company that allows you to mine cryptocurrency for a future potential profit. Simple as that. And they're all about education. The product is about education. It's about educating yourself. When you educate yourself, you get involved in the mining process. So you imagine right now, if you buy Bitcoin, you're buying the coins pre-mined. Bitcoin have mined around about 14 million coins out of the 21 million. We have a blockchain, a private blockchain that holds 120 billion coins. And right now, the members, us as a private community of 3 million members, are involved in mining those coins. So we're really early adopters. That's really where you want to be. But why do you need to even pay attention to this company? So let me just share some facts with you, because facts you can check. So here you have a company that was started in August 2014. That's just over 2 years old. 125 million in sales weekly. In the very first year, it did 1 billion in revenue in the very first year. In addition to that, last year it did 5.9 billion, and we are only just getting started. And if you're watching this right now on Facebook Live, well, I recommend that please like it and share it. Let some people come along and understand how the blockchain works, understand how cryptocurrency works, because it's all about being able to make a decision if it's something you're interested in. Now, let me put this into perspective, because I like to put it into perspective. We have this company called Onelife. They don't use any radio advertising. They don't use any TV advertising. That's not the way they market the product. However, when you look at those figures, some of them look, $125 million a week in sales. What does that actually mean? Let's put it into perspective. Let's look at the road to 1 billion. So Onelife reached $1 billion in round about just before 12 months. It was round about 11 months. We have companies like Amway that have been established for over nearly 50 years. Took 21 years to reach 1 billion. We have Avon, most of you have probably heard, took 86 years. We have companies like Herbalife, 24 years. And these aren't household names. Let's move on to conventional companies. So here you have companies like Apple. Steve Jobs took 6 years. Facebook, we're streaming live to Facebook right now. Facebook took 6 years to reach $1 billion. Amazon took 4 years. eBay took 7 years. Google took 5 years. Microsoft took something like 9 years. So you can see, putting it into perspective, what it means to actually reach $1 billion, which means this company makes this company one of the fastest growing companies in the world right now. And the founder is a visionary, a Dr. Ruja Ignatova. And she's an academic. She's an individual with a vast background in banking and finance. But here you have an individual that nobody's really heard of yet. She created $1 billion company faster than Jeff Bezos of Amazon, faster than Bill Gates, faster than Steve Jobs, faster than Jack Ma of Alibaba, faster than anybody you can mention. She's created $1 billion company faster than them. She's educated out of Oxford. She did a PhD in law from Oxford University and a master's both at the same time. She was the youngest former associate partner at the company I mentioned earlier on, the management consultancy company, which was McKinsey & Company. She's received Businesswoman of the Year 2012 and 2014. And she's managed various millions of funds under management. In addition to that, she's written two books in cryptocurrency, translated into 3 languages. And she's also been featured on various magazines. And recently, she was one of the speakers at the 4th European EU Summit, which was organized by The Economist. So she's somebody that's a visionary. She's a lady, an individual that knows exactly where she's going. And she won't stop until she gets there. So what do we have? How does it all work? So the first and foremost thing to understand is that Onelife do not have just one product, they have various products. We have the Onelife tablet, we have the mobile app builder, which is a business-based app that you can use for your business. We have CoinCloud, which is a secure cloud-based service. We have the Deal Shaker platform, which is a little bit like Groupon, started on the 16th of February. We have nearly 30,000 places around the world accepting OneCoin, the cryptocurrency right now. And most importantly, we're here to talk about education. We're all about education. That's why we have the One Academy. The One Academy is the only way you can get access to OneCoins right now. You cannot buy OneCoins on the open market. By the time that comes and we're on a public exchange, then you're trading publicly. So One Academy is our education platform. We have over 3 million members right now that are students within the One Academy, educating themselves and involved in mining the tokens for the cryptocurrency OneCoin. So when you get your education package, you get promotional tokens. Those promotional tokens are mined for the cryptocurrency OneCoin. We have over 150,000 people a month in 194 countries joining us every single month. That's phenomenal. That makes this company is really going places right now. So let's see what the history of the coin. The coin started mining in January 2015, and it's gone up 13 times to €9.85. Today it's €9.85. I got in when it was round about $5.65. So imagine you got involved when it was at 155. That would be amazing. Imagine you got in when it was at, I know some people that got involved when it was at just over €1. So there's no, it's never too late to get involved, because you can get involved at any time. It's just right now, if you were to get involved in Bitcoin, it would cost you around about $1,200 for each of those coins. So the question is, how much would you be willing to buy if you were going to get involved in something like that? So it's all about educating yourself. And when you're looking at anything like this at all, there's two key things that I always remind people. First, what is the product? You need to be confident and believe in the product. That's the first thing. You need to be confident and believe in the company. That's the other thing. Secondly, the other two even more important than that, everything in life is all about two things. The first one is affordability, and the second one is risk. It's as simple as that. That's how I can sum it up. People that got involved in Snapchat 3-4 months ago, they cashed out for quite a lot. People that got involved in Apple in the beginning, people that got involved in Facebook in the beginning. So you want to be a pioneer. You want to be in the early stages, the early adopter stage, and that's where we are today. So how does it all work? So somebody gets involved in the One Academy. You simply choose which education package you want. With your education package, you can educate yourself on financial matters and cryptocurrency. And we have different levels of education depending on which package you get. You get free tokens with those packages, which are mined for the cryptocurrency OneCoin. And it's important right now that I point out to everyone that I don't expect you to understand everything at once. It's not going to happen, because it might take maybe 2 or 3 times to see this, to understand. Always go back to the person that introduced you to this and ask them to explain it in more detail, because really tonight is just about educating you about blockchain, educating you about cryptocurrency, and just showing you some of this information so you can see what your level of interest is. So these are all the packages on the system right now. We have we have a rookie account. A rookie account is simply a free account where you can explore the platform. We then have the starter package at €110. Now each of these packages, you add a €30 activation fee, and each of these packages open up different levels of education. And with your levels of education, you get tokens, promotional tokens. So let's take, for example, the Tycoon Trader here, €5,500. You get 60,000 tokens. And on the system, it opens up 5 levels of education. Now, in addition to that, later on, I'll discuss why the Tycoon package is one of the popular packages, because if you're looking at the business side, it makes a difference. But in addition to that, you get 2 splits on the system. What does that mean? Well, the split process is there to make it fair on everyone. When you have new people buying packages and you have the people that have already bought the packages and mined their coins. Because if they didn't have what you call a split system, then what would happen is the company would need to keep on increasing the price of the packages, and they're not doing that. So what happens is the packages remain the same. When a split happens, which is every 60 to 70 days, your tokens will double. So for example, on a Tycoon Trader, you start off with 60,000 tokens. Everybody in the UK, for example, needs a starter pack, which would then give you, instead of 2 splits, it would give you 3 splits with this package. So this starter package, you can add on to any other package here. And then what would happen is after 60 days or so. Now, the split barometer in the back office right now is very close to splitting. So if somebody gets involved now, you get the split straight away. You don't need to wait 60 or 70 days. But anyway, when the split happens, your tokens double. So it goes to 120, and then it goes to 240, and then your last split goes to 480,000 tokens. 480,000 tokens divided by the current mining difficulty. The more members and miners mine for the coin, the more difficult it gets to do the long number calculation that I showed you. Now, at the moment, the mining difficulty is 99, which means you end up with just over 6,000 coins. The value of the coins today is €9.85, so I'm sure you can do the maths. And if you're not sure, then we can certainly get back to the person that introduced you. And we have various other packages right up to the Infinity package. We have a Power pack, and we have an Ultimate pack as well. So there's various different packages that are available. Now, in addition to that, we have the Deal Shaker platform. So this is an example of, once you have your coins, what can you do with your coins? Because it's really important to address, great, I've got these coins, it shows in my account of all these coins in the back office. But the question most people ask is, how do I liquidize the coins? I don't want just to hold on to the coins. How do I liquidize them? Now, at the moment, the way to liquidize the coins is use our Deal Shaker platform. Various different things you can do. You can buy land on the Deal Shaker platform. You can buy property on the Deal Shaker platform. You can even buy cars on the Deal Shaker platform. So this is a way to begin to liquidize your coin, to begin to use it. If you don't want to liquidize your coin, you can hold on to your coins until we have a public exchange, and then you can do whatever you want with your coins, just like the other cryptocurrencies that I showed you that were on a public exchange. The other thing you can do as a member, if you have coins right now, you can exchange some of your coin for optional future certificates. What that means is the company has announced that they're doing an IPO, just like Snapchat did, just like Alibaba did, which means they're listing the company on the stock exchange. So you have an opportunity right now to not only be a private miner, but you have an opportunity to become a shareholder. And the question you need to ask yourself is, what will the share value be? It's as simple as that. Now, nobody can answer that question. You don't know. So again, it's all about what? Affordability and risk. And I hope that explains everything in a clear manner. So to get involved today, what do? You buy your package, you get involved with Onelife or with the education package, you educate yourself, you mine your tokens for the cryptocurrency OneCoin. You don't need to do that. Onelife does all that on your behalf. You wait for your splits, and you don't need to wait for your splits. If you don't want to wait, that's okay, but I recommend you do. So the choice is yours. It then goes into the one exchange. You have your OneCoins in your back office, all the values in the cryptocurrency OneCoin. Availability, you can use it on the Deal Shaker platform. So the question today is whether you become a pioneer or whether you become a user, because we have Facebook today. Facebook's an amazing company, really, really successful, but we had MySpace. There was nothing wrong with MySpace. And then Facebook comes along with a better platform. It attracts more people, a broader range of people start to use Facebook, and all of a sudden businesses start to use Facebook, and it just grows and grows and grows until what it is today. So it's important to understand that. In addition to that, we have Apple right now. Now, Apple's one of the foremost companies that took over the mobile phone industry. In terms of devices, they have the iPad. So they're competing with Microsoft, and most people today, they're moving towards Apple products. So again, this is an example of a company that's been around for a while, that has been in the competitive edge. And the innovation is really important. Innovation, and the biggest thing with Apple, for example, is their brand. Why would people queue up outside an Apple store overnight, the night before, just because a new iPhone is coming out? Why would people do that? Why? It's just like, it doesn't make sense. But people will do that because of the demand, because they want to be the first pioneers to have that phone, to go back and say, I've got an iPhone 7 or I've got an iPhone 8. When if they just wait 2 weeks later, everybody can get it. So it's in the stores. So it just shows you the lengths that people will go to. And that's the exact same as cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency right now is all about supply and demand. So when people say nobody will be interested in this company, OneCoin, well, there's over 3 million people that are definitely interested in OneCoin. Demand is there, because if you have 150,000 people joining a month, then it means there's demand. And where you have demand, you need supply. So with supply and demand, that's what creates the market. Okay, in addition to that, you have Bitcoin today. And of course, what do we have now? We have the company Onelife, one of the fastest growing companies in the world right now. A company that's come along with a private blockchain. completely centralized system. We're not decentralized like Bitcoin, centralized system using a similar model to what Bitcoin used in the beginning. And they're creating waves within the industry right now. So many people are paying attention, and everything they've said they were going to do, they've already done. And sometimes we have critics on the market that say, well, that's not going to happen, this, and every single thing has happened so far. So you need to look at the history of where the company started and where it is today. And that gives you an idea of where we're going in the future, because it's all about the vision. So really the decision is yours, whether you choose to get involved with this company, whether you choose to look for more information from the person that introduced you to this. And I hope that gives you an understanding of what's actually happening right now in terms of blockchain technology and cryptocurrency, because it's really important that if it's something that you want to get involved in, it's really important that you do get back to the person that introduced you to this. You speak to them, and they can give you more information and guide you exactly what you need to do, what the next step is, the next step of the process. And they can explain the packages in much more detail. But tonight, that's all about the coin, that's all about cryptocurrency, it's all about the blockchain. But tonight, I'm really excited, actually, because we have an individual on the call tonight. I'm really excited to be introducing this individual. He's an individual that has, I've been trying to get him on the call for the last few weeks, and I know that he's a really busy individual. His schedule is jam-packed. This is an individual that has limited amount of time, and I've been honoured and privileged to be on some calls with him before, and I know how busy he is. I know what his schedule's like, and I know what his work ethic's like. So I'm so privileged to have him on the call. I know this is an individual that started just last year. And if you probably don't know this, but he has an organization of over 6,000 people right now that he's helping to become successful in this company. In addition to that, he's just had a brand new position, which is diamond within the industry. And for the guest on the call, I'll explain what that is later. But it's a very prestigious position within the organization. And I know that he's somebody that is really humble. He's come from a humble beginning. And I'm so excited today to hear his story, because I've heard a little bit about it before, but today I've asked him to share his story with us, his journey within this industry, how he got involved in this industry, where he came from, where he started, where he thinks he's going, and most importantly, why he chose this company we have here, which is Onelife. So I want to welcome on the call. It's my privilege to welcome on this call Mr. Mohamed Jama, Diamond from the UK. Welcome on the call.
Thank you so much, Brother Baydun. Thank you, much appreciated for your warm words. Hi, good evening, everybody. My name is Mohamed Jama, though a lot of people call me Hashi. A bit of myself. I come from a really very poor background. I'm from Africa, and my family I grew up in a nomadic family. My dad and my mother had 200 camels and 300 goats. Maybe for a lot of you don't understand what's called camel. It's that animal which has long legs and long necks, and it's only found in Africa and in Australia. Life has been really very difficult for us. I remember back then, we used to sometimes go out without a meal. Sometimes if we eat food in the morning, there was no food at lunchtime, or maybe if there is lunch, there was no dinner. And I grew up that sort of environment and life, and then I moved to the capital city of Somalia back then when I was 4 years old, and even then life was still difficult. And then after there was a lot of problems, I managed to I decided to look for the other way and look for a better life somewhere else. And then I had the chance to make the treacherous journey like everybody else to look for a decent living, a better life. Then I managed to come to this beautiful country, which is United Kingdom, in 1998. And I didn't know what to expect, to be honest. I couldn't speak a single word of English. I never met with many of the people who live in this country. And I remember the second day I was in London. I arrived in London in 1998, and second day being here in this country. I went out to look for a job, and the first job I did was a street cleaner. Yes, yes, I love you. Maybe don't believe that, but that's what I did. I went on to do that for a week, and then cut the short. Long story short, I managed to do many other jobs as well, and I also in 2001. Then I decided to go on the knowledge of London and become a licensed London black cab driver. And I remember in 2001 when I went to the then carriage office and I filled the application, and I didn't know how to fill the application. There was a lot of lot of A's and B's missing from the application, and the gentleman at the reception asked me, "Do you really know what it takes to become a licensed London driver? You can't even fill the application, let alone how you're going to succeed." So I only told him one word. I said to him, "Look, I'm determined to succeed no matter what." That's what I said to him. I decided what I decide. It's my decision. I'm gonna go for it. And after 4 years of being on a little moped in this cold weather, in this wet weather, snow, I managed to succeed in 2005. I passed out 2005 and became a licensed London driver. Along that, I managed also to become a network engineer, and life was always difficult for me. I used to work 16 hours, non-stop 14 hours just to put a bread on the table. It wasn't really that difficult. I've seen my kids growing, and I'm not spending enough time with them. So I knew I had to find something really different, something really can fulfill my desire. Until I was introduced to this amazing Onelife network, and back in March 2016. And like many of you, when a friend of mine introduced me this business, I went out to do my due diligence. Then after a few days, I decided this to be a really fantastic opportunity for me, and I bought a big package alongside that. Also, I made more than 6 figures income by networking. I also reached one of the most prestigious rank in Onelife, a diamond, in a couple of. Thanks to Onelife, also I managed to establish a small village of orphanage back home. The spot I chose this village to start, and to build from. Many years ago, 5-6 years ago, there was a drought and a lot of people were dying around that area. So I managed to dig a well. Not the money I got from the Black Cup, not the money I made back then, but the money I made from Onelife, through networking, through my hard work. And that small village today has a clinic, it has a boarding school, and because of the drought you see on the TV today back in Somalia and other places, there is more than 1,000 people residing at that village today for water and grazing as well. And what I like to say to you guys is this: life is not black and white. Companies come and go. If you look back, any other companies today around, Apple, Microsoft, all the big companies, Snapchat, Facebook. Back then, if you go back 10 years ago and someone asked you to be part of them, most likely you would have a second thought before you decide to join them. Why? Because as a human being, all they care always, first thing comes to their mind is the short term. Most of us don't really look behind the barriers, behind the bridge. What might happen the other side if you really make the right choices. And if you want to really take part in a company and make a really change in your life, you need to really get involved in phase 1, not in phase 3 or phase 2. When everybody can see, and everybody around the world want to be part of it. Remember, I've seen a lot of people, many people telling me that I'd rather wait till things clear. But let me tell you one thing: when things are clear, and we go public next year. As Baden said earlier, there's 7 billion people, around the world today. Every single one of them, a lot of them has a money. Every single one of them is, is looking for an opportunity, and that opportunity, when they see, they will take it. But let's put it this way: do you think when this company goes to public next year, just like Snapchat, not long ago, Snapchat, like Baden said earlier, it went on, public. It gone to the public just not long ago, in 6th of March, a few months ago. And back then, 12 months ago, they were offering this temporary shares called, like Baden said, beautifully put it, OFCs, optional future certificates. And many of us didn't really bother and getting involved. But today, look, go and Google, each share is around $30. And similarly, Onelife is not going to stay here. Is going to go on. If you want to really do your due diligence correctly, you need to do two things. You look for a company. One is the stability and leadership. Those two, so that's all you need. Stability. Is the company has the ability to succeed and to reach, their goals? Do they have enough income? Do they have enough people? Do they have enough targets to reach? And the second one is the leadership. Baden earlier mentioned beautifully there's more than 700 cryptocurrencies on the market when he just showed you on the market cap. Why they all, most of the 95% of them, their value has been zero in the past 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. The reason is they lack in leadership. No one knows who owns them, who created them. It's been just, someone created the company and just dumped their coins on the public exchange. Because there is no vision behind it. There's no leadership driving this company forward. They are where they are today. We are very lucky to have to be part of this company, Onelife, with the leadership of Dr. Ruja, which has a really, really, great vision. She's not after money. I don't believe she's after money. If she's after money, she could have taken this company on public exchange a year ago. And she said many, many, many times that. She said it's not about the money. It's about where this company can go and where I can help people, the poor, the unbanked people. There are not, like Baden said earlier, there are more than 3 billion unbanked people around the world, like Africa, in Asia, Latin America. This company has the potential to give them free accounts and change their lives, because back in those countries, financial institutions aren't that great as you know it. So for you, if someone didn't really, I never heard of cryptocurrency or something called digital money in my life before someone introducing this company. As someone whose background is not really from a modern society, can really understand the potential of this company and where hopefully this company is going to go next year. If I can understand and I can succeed and go where I got today. A lot of you here, I promise you are much more mature than me. You are much more intelligent than me. You have a lot more education than me. I have a very little education. I have very few credentials in my portfolio. I promise you. But what I have is, I have one thing, which is a vision and determination and decision. Decision is all about everything. The decision you make will make you who you are tomorrow. So it's for us to do the right decision at the right time and really part of this company. One of the amazing things people always miss is this. I asked someone earlier today, I said, do you know the money we use today, the hard currency, is really getting smaller and smaller by every year? He said, yes, there will be no hard currency in a couple of years. Do you know everything is going on digital, on a contact? Nowadays we're paying with contactless everything. He said, yes. If you know that, what about a company who, the lady who driving this company, she's so intelligent and she's really, she has, really a lot of credentials. She saw this before everyone else, saw in the world. And she's she wanted this company to be, one of the, to be the biggest company in terms of money remittance, online businesses. Why don't you be part of it? Money we use today is going digital. All the businesses we know today will be online. Those businesses who are not online, Richard Branson put it beautifully, I think a few months ago, they will die. They will definitely die. So if you can see the telltale, if you can see where things are going, why can't you see a company could change your life on that of your family in a really matter of couple of months, maybe in a year time? Why can't you see and make that decision? If I can see, I believe every one of you can see that. And it's about decision, whether you left it behind or take part of something is about to come. When this company launched Deal Shaker, Baidon earlier mentioned that beautifully. There was an article in the Yahoo and the Economist, and I had also other known financiers around the globe who are talking about this potential Deal Shaker. They said that the Deal Shaker has the potential to change the online system today we use. This is the company we are part of. We are very, very lucky to be part, those of us who are already part of this company. Imagine if you're own the shares of a company, it's about to make a history. It could be the second biggest, it could challenge Alibaba. That's what some experts are saying. The first 16 months of its existence, they said Yahoo, Amazon, eBay will just leave them behind. That's the potential this company has. Imagine if you had the shares of this company, if you have the coins of this company, one of the biggest business platform on planet, and also the biggest remittance money exchange in the world. I'm not going to say anymore. You know what you're up to, whether you're going to get it from there. So it's for you guys to do the right due diligence and make the right decision at the right time before things move towards the end. Now we left phase one, we're somewhere in the middle. When we reach the second part, it's for everyone and will be very little. If you join by then, it's going to be you're not going to make that much. So I'm very, very humble to be part of and take on this webinar today. I wish you all the success in this business and have a lovely, lovely evening. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Wow, thank you, Mohamed Jama. That was absolutely amazing. Just a couple of things I wanted to mention there, just to recap. I think where you are, there might be a little bit of background noise there that we heard coming through, but nevertheless, it was a fantastic story, really inspirational for a lot of people on here. And one of the key things that I wanted to ask you, because you talked a lot about people missing the boat. So for example, for a lot of people here, when you start going into your bank and your bank manager, the person behind the counter, starts mentioning cryptocurrency or blockchain to you, it really is too late. It really is too late. So you want to pay attention now and start to educate yourself. However, while you're still here, I wanted to ask you a couple of key things. Why specifically did you choose One Life? Why specifically One Life? And also, I want you to, for the guests and the members that are on here, you've gone through this journey, your journey of being a network engineer, being a cab driver, starting from sweeping the streets right to where you are today. You managed to change the life of not only yourself, but many other people with the charity that you're helping as well. So can I just ask, there's 3 things that you want to leave us with today. What are the 3 key things that you believe have helped you to get to where you are that can help individuals that are on this call?
Yes, the reason I've chosen One Life was I was always I always had the desire, to look for and find and find a change in my life where I was at, and because I was not happy about what I was really doing. One Life, when I did my due diligence, I ticked a few ticks. One of them was I always had the desire to be my own boss and not people telling me what to do, while at the same time I'm earning. And when I checked this company, I did my due diligence. What I realized was, number one was the education, because education is the key to your success. And as myself being had a background of not really well off when it comes to education, you know, education in finance, you know, in this package inside, that really blew me away. Number one why I chose was the education. You know, this company can change, you know, my mindset and also lead me to a success. As we know, education, like I said, is the first. The second tick this company had was the ability this company to transform those unwell of people around the world. You know, because I can relate to those countries and those people. You know, this company want to change their lives. I'm one of them, and by seeing that presentation of 3 billion unbanked people, this company has the potential to change their lives, and those who are, you know, can manage their daily lives. That also struck a chord with me. That was the second. And the third tick, and the most important also was this company had what it takes to give me the financial freedom that I was always since I was year 4. Since I was year 4, could have given me. And that was the third most important thing. This company, when I checked all the ticks, I realized it's not really a normal company. All my desire, all the dreams, all the things I always used to dream, I could find in this company. So that is why I've chosen Onelife above other companies. There was many other companies people brought to me. I have never joined another company. This was the first company I have ever joined. Yes, and the reason was this company had what it takes and to really and to buy me off and to be part of it. Yes.
Amazing. That's fantastic. So guys, you've heard it straight from the horse's mouth there. Exactly what you need to get to where you need to be if you're looking to progress within this company, selling within this company. You know, in addition to that, one of the things that I love about what Mohammed Jama said there was that he basically said that, you know, if he can do it with all the setbacks that he's had, then, you know, anybody can do it, which is really phenomenal. So, you know, it was great to have you on this call. Really great that you've come on, and, you know, we're looking forward to hearing from you some other time. But thank you very much, and I'm sure many people have got some valuable information, especially the tips tonight, and to hear your journey was fantastic. So, you know, hats off to you. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
So fantastic, guys. So thank you to Mohammed Jama there. That was absolutely amazing. I hope that everybody on the call, especially the members and the guests and anybody watching on Facebook right now, I hope you've managed to gain some nuggets of information that you can use. You know, it's all about your determination. It's about educating yourself. It's about continuing on that journey that you started. And one of the key things that Mohammed Jama mentioned several times was, have you made the decision? Have you made the decision? Because decisions are really important. So great to hear that amazing story, the story from a humble beginning of arriving in the country without being able to speak English, to get to a really prestigious company within this organization and this company, Onelife, all within just about a year. That's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. So certainly, you know, that's somebody that I want to pay attention to, and you know, make sure that you go back and, you know, ask yourself, does this opportunity, does cryptocurrency, the blockchain, or does in fact the company, does it tick all the boxes for you? Because that's really crucial. So guys, I'm not going to keep you much longer. We've been on this call for quite some time. Crypto Live, we'll be coming to you live several times a week. We will advertise that we're going live on Facebook. We will be having several people on the call. We've got several guests lined up over the next few weeks, really to inspire people, to motivate people, and really to educate people. So just before I leave, I just want to cover one more thing to allow you to understand that Richard Branson had said that if someone offers you an amazing opportunity and you're not sure, You can do it, say yes, then learn how to do it later. And it's really important to understand that keeping an open mind is one of the things that can actually help you in life. And before I go, if anybody wants involved in the business side of this, there is a business side. Potentially you can get involved in the business side, and I'll just touch on this. There are 4 types of bonuses paid within the system. If you're involved in marketing this, we use a referral marketing model, and that's why they've been able to attract so many members. So we have a first bonus is a startup bonus. We have direct sales bonus, network bonus, and matching bonus. All bonuses are paid within the week, and then 60% paid the following Monday. They're paid, calculated within the week, paid on the following Monday. 60% goes to your cash account, which you can cash out straight away, immediately. The other 40% goes to your trading account, of which you simply buy more coins. And it's really critical to understand that. I won't go much into the full compensation plan tonight. The reason being, you can get back to the person that introduced you to this, and they can explain in much more detail. This was really just to share a little bit of information about this opportunity and to give you more of an understanding. But just before we go, I'd like to share one more thing with you. I've got one more slide that I'd really like to share so that you can get an understanding of. And it's one that if you pay attention to this, as Mohammed Jama said, there's many, many opportunities come and go. But how many opportunities do you ever pay attention to? And as he said, there's many, many people approaching him every single day, approaching him, offering different opportunities. And this particular opportunity right now, if somebody can show me a better opportunity out there than Onelife, then I tell you right now, I'm in, because I have not been able to find one, and it's critical to understand that. So one of the things that many, many people miss out on is because they don't make a decision. And Mark Zuckerberg invited 5 people to his Harvard dorm when he started Facebook to discuss a business opportunity. Only 2 of the people showed up. They got in, they got started. And today those 2 people are billionaires. Dustin, 6.5 billion he's worth, and Eduardo's worth 3.4 billion. So I'll tell you, nothing is more expensive than a closed mind and a missed opportunity. How many times do we see an opportunity and say, you know what, that was offered to me back then, I didn't get involved, I really wish I'd paid attention and I wish I got involved. And it happens all the time. It happens several times. Sometimes you're not paying attention to it, so it's really not important to you. So it's really, really important that you pay attention. In addition to that, right now, the vision for this company, to let you know where it's going, we have 10 million users on the system. At the moment, we have over 3 million and 1 million merchants on the Deal Shaker platform within the next 2 years. That was set in June 2016. So here's something to leave you with. The Deal Shaker platform, many people said there's never going to be a Deal Shaker platform. It's live right now. You can spend your coins on that platform. Started on the 16th of February. We nearly have 30,000 merchants. So you tell me where it's going. You see, many people, when eBay started, they didn't use eBay, they didn't trust it. Nowadays, many people use eBay. People check Amazon, then they check eBay, because you know sometimes there's the same products on it. PayPal, when PayPal started, many people didn't use PayPal. Today, most people have got a PayPal account. So it's something to really think about. Smartphones have only been out for a very short time, yet in our imagination, we think smartphones have been out for 15, 20 years. It wasn't, they've not been out that long. So again, it's about paying attention to what's going on around you, paying attention to what everybody else is paying attention, especially the governments, especially the banks, because believe me, if they're paying attention to it, then we really should be paying attention to it. So guys, from me, I'd like to thank every single person for coming on this call, all the panelists. It's great to have you here. From Mohamed Jama, amazing coming on this call. Thank you very much. So humbled and privileged to have you. Amazing story that you told, and I'm sure many, many people will be able to benefit from it. So guys, just before we leave, for all the panelists, you can unmute yourself. You can just say a few words and then say good night, along with Mohamed Jama. So just everyone, feel free to unmute yourself.
Thank you very much, Jama. I really enjoyed your story, so thanks for coming onto my page. Thank you
very much, Jama. That's good.
Jama,
thank you guys. My pleasure.
Inspiration. Thank you so much. It just got to show that everyone can do it. If we connect and clear our mind and step out to the unknown, the impossibilities are not impossibilities anymore. We just have to just crack on and do what you've done. Thank you very much for blessing us with your presence.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. You know, the key thing for every problem, there's always a solution, and for every solution, there's always a problem. So, guys, with that, I'll leave you. God bless, and good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
All the best.
Thank
All the
you.
best.